May the Schwartz be with you.
Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Not sure when you're going to be receiving this, but this is something brand new we're very excited about. I'm Paul Wilbur, and this is my friend,
Bryan Schwartz.
Bryan Schwartz. We're here in Jacksonville, Florida. Something very exciting has been happening here, as you know, and we want to start bringing these reports to you with maybe a little bit of activation as well every week. So Facebook and Instagram and blogging and glogging and all the stuff that I have no idea about, putting that in the hands of folks who do. But every week we want to bring you updates and hopefully engaging conversation to put us on the same track as we align here with the purposes of God. So since we're just kicking off today, Bryan, why don't you tell our audience, our family that's watching from all over the globe, give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, well, I'm Bryan Schwartz, and we moved back to Jacksonville right around 4 years ago. We were pastoring for years. Before that, had an NFL football career, which was awesome here in Jacksonville.
With the Jags.
With the Jags. Met you years ago, actually, here in Jacksonville. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
Lived in your neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a small world.
Well,
You know,
I
God
was
is
so
bringing all these-
intimidated, I forgot about it.
Yeah. You lived right next to my strength coach.
Yeah.
Jerry Palmieri.
Jerry Palmieri, down the street.
Yeah, so, you know, we moved back. We felt, we've always felt like this is a spiritual home for us. My wife and I, we came to know Jesus in 96 after my rookie season. We both came to the faith on the same night, which was just amazing for us to start our family, to reboot our marriage from that foundation was huge.
So was that just a divine download? What happened? Someone came to your house or?
Well, my wife had locked herself in a bathroom.
Okay.
I was a middle linebacker, so anger was an asset. But it wasn't working out so well in my marriage.
She was protecting you from
Exactly.
her.
Exactly.
She knew the power.
That's the truth.
Okay.
But she was 9 months pregnant, due with our first baby at any moment. And the thought of being a dad for me was actually kind of terrifying. I was already failing as a husband, so it wasn't looking real good. And so we just had a moment that day out on the golf course. She just had come out to ride along with me as I played this leisurely round of golf. By hole 6, I lost it, breaking clubs, throwing stuff, manifesting right on the golf course over at Windsor Park.
You're my kind of golfer.
Oh my goodness. So she literally leaves me on the golf course with the golf cart, almost runs me over. I'm so full of pride at that time. I'm like, don't you know my body is part of my making, and that's how we make money. And so I just go off. She goes home, locks herself in the bathroom. I show up and start pounding on the door. And she goes, I will not come out unless you go to a Bible study with me. And I think I cursed her out. Oh, like, who the blank are you?
So she grew up in church?
She was brought up in Catholic.
Okay.
And so she definitely, though, but during that whole year, which was really frustrating for me, God had started already working on her heart. But he hadn't really tapped into my mind at that point. And so, you know, that frustrated me because she was starting to change. Her behavior was changing. Like looking back, God had done a real work in her heart. It's like Paul says, we're the aroma of Christ to God. To one, you're the smell of death. To the other, you're real attractive. It was the smell of death to me.
Well, as a linebacker, you want to be the smell of death to the guy with the ball, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So fast forward to get out of the doghouse, I agreed to go to this Bible study, and it was at our quarterback's house, Mark Burnell, who's a great guy. He just lived and loved Jesus. Wasn't perfect, but modeled something to us as teammates that I found really attractive internally. I would never let him know that. But when she said it was at his house, I was like, okay, I've been over to Mark's house. We're friends. I ended up showing up, and a bunch of our teammates, all the guys I ran and partied with, they're all there with their wives and girlfriends.
Wow.
And I remember pulling up. On the way over, I'm sweating. I'm terrified. I'd never been in an environment that was a Bible study, and I thought for sure, man, if there's one guy that's going to get exposed as the fraud he is, it's me. And my perception of God was wacky and all over the place. And ended up showing up. Those guys are all there. I knew when we got together, we partied. So I was like, man, maybe Bible study
This could be cool.
This could be awesome. And get in there, and there was a guy there preaching the gospel, evangelist from Texas. They had flown this guy in, and it was a real setup by the Spirit of God. I can use these terms now, but back then I had no grid. I just thought I was there to have snacks, and there was this weird guy from Texas that was preaching the Bible at me. I didn't have any concept of who the Lord was. I didn't know what a Christian meant. I just, thought Christians had weird taste in music. That was
Careful.
Not your music aside. Okay. But it was a divine moment, and it was the true gospel. It was a gospel with grit, simultaneously hearing about the love of Jesus, but also the deep conviction that my life was out of complete alignment. And I remember just being broken down by the end of the message, just weeping. He did a little altar call. I remember us standing to our feet, but I went up to him afterwards, and I'm just crying. I'm a 255-pound weeping middle linebacker that just said, I don't know about anything else you said tonight, but I need this Jesus.
Wow.
That you talked about. I said, what do I do? And he said, pray. And I looked at him, I was like, you pray. You're the professional here. I had no grid for prayer. And he said, just talk. So it was like something leapt out of me, and it was this simple prayer. Lord, this better be real. It better be so real I don't go back.
So your prayer is, you got your finger in Jesus' chest, right?
It didn't feel like that. That's not what the intent was. It was more like, Lord, please make this so real.
Oh, okay.
It was more that.
This better be real. But I am a 255-pound
it wasn't
manslayer.
He had broken me down. It was more like, please make this so real that I don't go back to this depression. Even though I had everything, Paul, I had everything that I've been taught to aim for, but just utterly lost, directionless, terrified about being a father, and something happened in that prayer where I just felt peace. It was the first time I think in my entire life I experienced peace with God that Paul talks about in Romans 5, to have peace with Him. I had occasional moments where I experienced maybe external peace through circumstance, but my wife and I both, it was like we went in hating one another at some level and walked out going, man, we've got a shot here. And I remember staying up that night all the way till 3 a.m. just reading through the Gospels. Brunel had handed me a Bible, and he said, go over the Gospels. I was like, what are the Gospels? and he showed me where to start. And so I stayed up just reading, and my heart was on fire. And woke up the next day, went over and got water baptized, a bunch of us, and then went over to workouts after that. And I started witnessing to my teammates, the guys I used to run in park. I started witnessing right away, not preaching Jesus, witnessing to what happened. Went home, my wife starts going into labor. We had our first baby 2 days later. So you want to talk about making this thing real. So that's the backdrop of why this place for us is so special. And a lot of our friends are still here. So, and then we got to link up, you and I and Pastor Stovall Weems here at Celebration Church, and it's cool how God's putting together all these pieces.
He's building a team.
He's building a team.
He's got a goal in mind.
Yeah.
I feel some real football analogies coming here.
Don't get me started on that.
Don't go there.
He's got a playbook. He's got a game plan.
But
he's assembling all the right. It's true.
He's got a game plan. He's got a playbook.
It is true.
Yeah. He's building a team. He's building a family.
Yeah.
And what a joy, though, it is to connect with you and the different pieces now that God is bringing here. Some from way across the country.
Yeah.
Others from across the street.
It's amazing.
But he's building his kingdom.
Yeah.
And he has a real plan in mind.
Yeah.
I think, for time's sake, we're going to say less is more. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of taste of what's going on here, the kind of things that we're going to be sharing every week, but I wanted you to have just a few minutes to get to know this guy, Bryan Schwartz. And so I think we're going to say until next time. So we're also going to be posting times and a schedule for this. Again, whether it's Facebook or whether it's Instagram or some of our podcasting or whatever we're doing, we're going to, this is for me really an exceptional privilege. So I want to invite you back. Please keep an eye out. You can do that very simply. Go to the App Store, go to Wilbur Ministries, download our free app. Yes, we'll get your email address, but we're not going to bug you every hour of every day. We're not a gimme, my ministry's Jimmy kind of thing. So, but if you download the app, then we're going to have the schedule on there. You get the free videos and teachings and music. We just released in the last couple of days our brand new project called Selah. We had it here at the house for me to hold up to you, but I don't see it anywhere in the, yes, you can see it's a beautiful cover, isn't it? Yeah, we are on top of it. We are really on top of it. So join us next time, and we're going to have a name for this. But I can't.
We should have them. We should have them come up with names. We've got a Messianic Jew and a Gentile.
Okay.
We've got a Wilbur and a Schwartz. Mm-hmm. We've got a large human and a small human. We've got all these different. I think they should help us figure out this name. I'm just saying.
Like Ben and Jerry's. We like ice cream. Okay. Yeah, you might even want to go on and suggest some names for our. This guy came up with the Rabbi and the Runt, and I told him I'm offended by calling me a runt because I used to work out.
It's the Rabbi.
Oh, the Rabbi. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the Danny DeVito Schwarzenegger twins play.
We are family.
We are
family. All right, so listen, join us here again next time. The schedule's going to be up. We're going to be doing this every week. We're really glad you joined us this morning. So God bless you and keep you in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, our King.